What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? It is your girl, your diva and knowledge lady Mocha, represent Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where I'm going to be serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. I'm going to make this content quick. I just thought it was imperative that I let it be known that I am currently right now looking for at least 5 to 8 black men that are interested in starting a movement for black men that are struggling with depression, that are struggling with drug overdose, that are struggling with issues that they don't feel they can be transparent about in male spaces. I figured it was time for this type of movement to come about due to the fact that this situation with DMX, which is also a black male, a black man who has been struggling with drugs, has been struggling with trying to not deal with this habit. This habit unfortunately has conquered him, and this is the reason why he is currently in the hospital. And I thought how many other men could possibly also be having this same issue, that is also currently going through issues with drugs, going through issues with depression. I'm well aware that there is a lot of weight on black men. And the problem is there are not enough. What's up, Tyrone Church? Good to see you. There is not enough spaces for black men where they can be transparent with other black men. There's not enough spaces for black men to be able to let their guard down and really be emotional, really share their turmoils, share their personal struggles. And what is tending to happen is black men really do not have a place where they can vent and be emotional. And what is happening is because they don't have places where they can feel comfortable and share their emotions without being called a simp, be emotional without being told you're weak, you're not you're not masculine enough. And the truth is there's not enough of black male content creators. They don't have a space for men to be emotional. They don't have a space for men to be able to really be transparent and say, you know what? Yes, I'm a black man. Yes, I'm masculine. Yes, I'm far from a better male, but I'm going through some deep emotional stuff. I'm battling depression. I don't have a good relationship with my children. I don't get along with the mother of my children. I feel like I have a lot of weight on me. I'm still taking care of my parents, and I already have a wife I got to take care of. I already have children I have to take care of. There's not a space where black men can be transparent. And the unfortunate part is a lot of these black male content creators, they don't have a space where men can be emotional and not be called a simp. But it is sad that black men cannot be emotional and not be considered a simp. If a black man says I'm depressed, he's a simp. If a black man says I'm tired of black women disappointing me. Every time I think I found a good wife, I found a good woman, I'm finding out that she has other hidden agendas. See, if a man becomes transparent and he expresses himself in male spaces, he's going to be considered weak. He is going to be considered not masculine. It's sad, but black men cannot be transparent with other black men, because he's going to be looked at as not strong. And it's sad that a lot of black men, they cannot go in the spaces of black men and be transparent, because the truth is a lot of the black male content creators, they just want to discuss fuckery. They're not really concerned with black men's well-being. They're not concerned about that. They just want to promote fuckery. They just want to promote bashing all day, which is fine. Nothing is wrong with that. If that's how you're earning is that how you're keeping your fan base, and that is how you're earning subscribers. But what about black men out there who have real issues and they want to be able to speak about it with other black men? What is wrong with black men saying, man, I'm depressed. I just lost custody of my children. I'm depressed because I lost my marriage. My wife walked out and left me. I'm depressed because I lost my job. Right now, I'm feeling like I'm less than a man because I cannot provide for my family right now because I got laid off. Black men do not have a space where there's therapy for them. I don't see none of the brothers out here doing it. None of these black men who claim they have love for fellow black men. The only way some of these guys can display they love for black men is by bashing black women. That's fine and wonderful, but isn't there other things that black men are going through besides black women? You have black men out here that have a lot of weight on them. You have a lot of black men out here that are held to such a high standard because they got to take care of everybody and nobody's taking care of them. I know some black men who not only got to take care of their immediate family, which is their wife and their children, they still got to take care of their parents. I know black men that are still taking care of their parents, even though they done moved from up under their parents. They got their own responsibilities. I know some black men that not only got to take care of the family they got, but they have kids from previous relationships. So they still got to take care of those kids on top of still being able to provide and still hold a weight as a man, as a husband with the family that lives with them. And truth be told, I know a lot of people are going to feel like, well, he caused that on himself. He made that. He created that problem. True indeed, black women, we're told the same thing. We have 3-4 kids by 3-4 different baby daddies. Okay, we don't get no empathy. We don't get no sympathy. That still does not mean that there's not as a man, they should not have a space where they can be transparent and share their issues. This situation with DMX that came up, with him overdosing and currently being in a hospital, he is not the only black man that's out here that's dealing with drug issues, that's dealing with alcoholism. There's men out here that are emotionally in distress because they're in a lot of debt. It's a lot of men that are in debt trying to please a woman's lifestyle. He done got a big house that he cannot afford, but because we're in a world that as a man, because you're supposed to be masculine, you're supposed to handle everything. And the moment you can't handle something as a man, you're being told you're not masculine. You're being told you're a better male. You're being told you're an incel. You're being told you're a simp because you're way in over your head because you're trying to accommodate and please all of these people around you that's dependent on you. And you have a lot of men that are stressed out because, again, they are trying to please and accommodate their wives or their significant others with a lifestyle they really can't afford. Okay, your wife or your woman, she wants this kind of house. She wants to live in this type of neighborhood, or she wants this kind of car. You know, it's all men. And I'm not discrediting women because women, we have pressures. But for men, it's a lot worse for men due to the fact that men are told they constantly have to be leaders. Tyrone Wright says, a couple of my friends overdosed this last couple of years. And I totally believe that is occurring a lot. This is not something with just DMX. It's a lot of black men that are under pressure. Now, earlier I went live, and I'm not going to go as long as I did before. I went live about the situation with DMX, who is currently in the hospital due to a drug overdose. And I brought up this topic. I brought up the issue that black men don't have a space on YouTube where they can be transparent, because a lot of the guys in the chat room, they actually agreed with me and said sometimes black men, they just want to talk about real issues that black men are going through. They don't always want to talk about fuckery and black women day in and day out. There are black men who actually want to talk about emotional issues they're going through. As black men that are going through issues in their marriages. It's black men that are going through trying to raise their children the best that they can raise them. There are black men that don't have the best of relationships with the mother of their children. It's a lot of different things that black men are going through. So with that being said, my plan is to propose a channel specifically for black men to be able to have a space where they can express themselves with other black men and not be judged, not be considered a simp, not be told you're weak because you're depressed, or you're weak because you can't kick drugs, you can't kick alcohol. whole overall point that I'm trying to propose is I am basically looking for at least 5 to 7 men who would like to start a platform with me that's going to be therapeutic for Black men. I want it to be a space where Black men can feel comfortable chatting in a chat room without some clown heckling or making fun of him because he's going through something that he's struggling with. And it's sad, but a lot of Black men, they don't have a space here for Black men to be transparent. Like someone told me in the chat that there was one Black man who had posted in one of the male spaces that there was a woman he really wanted to be with, and he felt like she was his ideal soulmate. Well, he decided to be transparent, and he brought the woman's weight up. And when he did that, they basically ridiculed him for it. And it's sad that a lot of Black men, y'all don't have a space where y'all can be yourselves. You got to be macho all of the time. Envy causes a lot of stress. I agree with that. What's up, vegan? There's not a space for Black men where y'all can really be yourselves. Y'all have to be masculine all the time. It's sad that as a Black man, you can't say right now I'm struggling with depression. It's sad as a Black man, you can't say, I'm feeling like I'm not leading. I'm not providing. I don't have the finances where I can take care of my wife. Or I don't have the finances where I can take care of my children. It's sad, but if you say any of these things in the Black spaces, these other Black men, they're going to make fun of you. You can't tell. It's sad, but Black men can't tell other Black men right now, I don't have no money. I just lost my job, so I'm not able to provide and take care of my family. You know what those guys are going to do in the chat room? They're going to make fun of them. Oh, you a broke nigga. You a better male. These content creators, these male content creators, they make everything that's masculine based on materialism. You're not a real man if you don't have no money. You're not a real man if you don't wear designer labels. You're not a high value man because you don't make a lot of money. You don't own your own business. You just a construction worker, or you just a manager at Popeyes. There are so many Black men that are belittling Black men's masculinity, all because of his finances. And I think that it is so unfair that once certain Black men reach a plateau of success, now they want to look down on their fellow brethren and say, oh, you broke. You a better male. You an incel. Wait a minute. Wasn't at one point in time you was broken, you was struggling before you get to where you got? And it's sad, but masculinity now is based on how many suits you wear. As Dr. Tyrone, masculinity is based on how many women you can pull. Masculinity is based on how you are built physique-wise, how many views you get, how many subscribers you get. Everybody has already made their own definition of what they consider as masculinity. And the truth is, you have some Black men that are out here that are struggling with some real underlying issues. And the sad part is, these Black men, they can't go to other Black men and be transparent. I guarantee you, if any man was to go into one of these Black male dominated spaces and say, hey, I'm really depressed because my wife divorced me. She took me for everything I got. You know what they're going to call him? They're going to call him a simp. Men are not allowed to be emotional, and that's bullshit. Men should be able to be emotional. It does not make you less than a man because you are expressing your emotions. You are saying, I'm in pain, I'm hurting, I'm depressed. I feel less than a man because I lost my job and I can't provide for my family. I feel less than a father right now because my ex-wife is manipulating my children to not care for me, to not want to be involved with me. Definitely have my condolences on that vegan doctor that your wife passed. I'm definitely sorry to hear that. And this is a prime example. This is why I am proposing this movement for a couple of brothers to start a panel with me in which we can come together and start helping Black men who want the help. Now, if you're happy with where you are and you feel like you don't need therapy, you got it all together, then you don't have to join spaces where you feel like you already pretty much well established. But my concern is ever since this DMX situation came about, I'm concerned how many other black men out here are also struggling in dealing with issues. And what's going on is a lot of black men, y'all don't feel safe being vulnerable. And I understand you don't feel safe being vulnerable because you have these clowns that want to use your vulnerability against you. And I understand that as a black man, a lot of y'all don't feel safe being transparent with black women because you have some of these sisters out here. The moment you be open and you be transparent with them, sometimes these sisters will use it against you as a sign of weakness. They will call you an incel or a beta male because you're being transparent. So I understand. And I realize the reason why so many black men are so egotistical is because they feel like that is the only way they can protect their masculinity. It's sad, but black men cannot really be open with black men. Black men cannot tell black men that I'm depressed because I lost my wife. You know what's going? He's going to be told you weak. A real man don't care if he lost his wife, and that's not true. You have every right to be emotional because you lost somebody you love. Black men are being told you're a simp because you have emotions for a woman, and you're not a simp. You're being what's called a human being. But in these male spaces, they're not going to let you be transparent without considering you to be a simp. And this is the reason why I am proposing this movement. So I emailed a couple of guys and I'm waiting to hear back from them. I'm going to start a movement for black men, a therapeutic movement for black men. And it's not going to be a space in which black men will feel uncomfortable sharing their struggles, sharing things that they are personally going through without being ridiculed, without being scrutinized. I really think that men really deserve a space where they can be transparent, because all of this macho egotistical, it's not helping us, it's hindering us. It's hindering us. And the thing is, as black women, we got several places where we can go and run our mouth. We can go over here, we can go over there. We, black women, we judge each other a lot, but we don't consider each other simps in a sense like men do with other men. It's unfortunate. Put it this way, I've heard a man one time tell another man that he had been molested as a child. Do you not know when he shared something that deep and personal, do you not know that the brothers mocked him and made fun of him because he said that he had been molested as a child? They made fun of him. I've heard a couple of brothers who also stated that they had been molested by other men. And do you not know that these brothers used it against them and called them gay? And told them, oh, that's why your father screwed you in the backside? But anyway, I'm going to get ready to shut it down. I'm looking for 5 to 7 men, who would like to join me in this movement. Anybody who's willing to join me, please email me and get back with me. And then I will start from there. So I just thought I would share this with each and every one of y'all. I'm looking for 5 to 10 guys who I can start a platform with, specifically encouraging and uplifting and empowering black men that are struggling with internal and depression. So definitely hit me up for anybody who's interested, and we will go from there and I'll discuss the details with you. Y'all have a blessed one. Take care.